why they're having this event on Saturday. Dayna Norvold is with us. Did I get that right?
Yep, you did. Thank goodness.
Sweating bullets there because I didn't ask her before the show. That wasn't good. If you could please, that would be very much appreciated. Here on AM Minnesota today. So Dayna, did Jason approach you? Did you approach him? How did all this work?
Yeah, Jason and his wife Maggie approached Ginny Sarter and asked if we'd be interested in being the beneficiary of this event that they've done for several years. And of course we said yes, we'd love to do that in honor of Bill. And so he can give you more of that history, but they choose a different charity every year, and this was our year.
So Bill must have been a good friend?
Yes, I grew up with Jeff, his son, and so yeah, over the years we used to build things in his shop, and so yeah, got to know him quite well.
He had a nice shop, didn't he?
It's controlled chaos. That's the way we were just talking about it. Yeah, I knew where everything was, but it was like, wow, we had a lot of stuff.
Yeah, you wondered how he knew where everything was.
Exactly.
No, I'm with you. I was over at his home a few times over the years, and geez, I missed that guy.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, we all miss Bill.
Yeah, it's a bummer he had to leave us like that.
Yep.
But
we still though feel like he's pushing us. I have been in meetings, of course, over the last year, and every now and then when we're talking about making a particular decision, people say, well, I kind of hear Bill telling us that we got to move this direction or make this decision about a house. So I think he's still with us, pushing us into the right direction.
Well, that's great. So Habitat's doing well right now?
Yeah, Habitat's doing well. We finished up our builds. We had a little late last year, and it might be a little late this year. We don't have a construction coordinator right now. But we finished up our builds, and our families for 2015 are happily in their homes. We're still accepting applications for families for 2016. So if people are interested in affordable housing and their income is between $24,000 a year and $38,000 a year, they should contact us. They can just go to our website, habitatricecounty.org, or give us a call at 507-744-2933, and we can talk with them about how to apply.
That's the combined household income?
Yep, the household annual income.
What was those numbers again?
Yeah, on the low side about $24,000, and that's just so that they can afford the mortgage payment. Families pay a mortgage payment, taxes, and insurance, and then our upper income limit is $38,200, and that is 50% of area median income. So that's our upper side.
You typically do 30-year mortgages?
We do. Yep, and so that's really to make the house affordable.
Right.
We sell the house for about $120,000, $130,000. Typically, it's a 0% interest mortgage, and so to make that monthly payment affordable for those families, we stretch it out to 30. But we have done 20, 25-year mortgages too.
But think of the savings, no interest.
Yeah, no interest on those loans, and that's the part that makes it affordable for those families. It's not a freebie though, because of course our families put in 350 hours of sweat equity. That's time building their home or contributing to the organization in some way. So we're pretty intentional about calling our families partners, because they really do contribute to the build, and we believe they contribute of equal value to our donors and volunteers.
It's pretty cool that Jason and Maggie Demars put on these events every year. We're going to talk to Jason a little bit more about the ice golf event. There's some changes this weekend.
Yes, sir.
It's not really going to be technically ice golf.
Right.
We'll talk about that when Minnesota continues. Right now we're going to get that opening market report. Mother Nature's just not cooperating. Our opening market report, a service of your KDHO Agri Boosters, Ag Power Enterprises, your John Deere dealer in Owatonna, Hollandale, Belle Plaine, Osage, and Northwood Milton. Olson. In studio today is Dayna Norvold. She is the executive director of the Rice County chapter of Habitat for Humanity. And we also have with us Jason Demars, who plans a ice golf benefit each year, and different cause has benefited from that. This year it's Rice County Habitat. Did have a note to pass along here, Highway 52 northbound near Edgewood Restaurant there in Cannon Falls, the old Edgewood. I don't think they're still around. Oh, maybe they are. Anyway, you know where the Edgewood is located there, off Highway 52 in Cannon Falls. Northbound lanes closed due to a semi-fire, is what they are telling us. So take heed if you're heading on Highway 52 northbound. I would guess there might be some gawkers southbound, so don't be a gawker. Well, Jason, how did you choose this, and how do you choose the different benefits each year?
Well, this year we always put out feelers with all of our friends and family and say, hey, if you've got a cause or a family that is in need, let us know and we'll help out. And then we usually get a team of people together, and if we've got multiples, and we decide which one would fit us best. We always tend to pick something that involves children, because we feel that they have less ability to fend for themselves.
Right.
And so this year we had really no legitimate concern of who to do it for, and so we were thinking, well, Habitat's great because bill passed this past year, and Habitat helps families that then would put children in homes, and we know how that benefits them in the school if they can have their own property versus apartments or things like that. So we chose Habitat.
And you did saw some wilder research that you have up on your website, Dayna, that notes that kids do benefit from this. They do better academically in school.
Yeah, Habitat Minnesota, which is our state support organization, worked with Wilder Foundation to do a big study, which they called an impact study. And lots of the benefits are for kids, that the whole trajectory of their life really increases. They do better in school. There's less truancy rates, less delinquency rates. There's less teen pregnancy, higher graduation rates from high school, and higher graduation rates from college. So it's we dig deep. Habitat digs deep with each family that we work with, but we really do believe that that's what's going to end generational poverty. That you do have to dig deep with families that have been in poverty for generations, and this can get them one step out of that.
It is interesting that there'd be a correlation with school and truancy and all that just by having a home to live in.
Yeah, and I think because we visit all of our families where they currently live when they apply, and I can understand it, having kids of my own, when you're in a place, maybe it's an apartment building where there's lots of activity, kind of lots of chaos, or you're in a house where maybe it's not warm enough in the winter, or maybe it's overcrowded. And so then you think about putting in, a middle schooler who's got to start studying for tests, and they've got more projects due. If they don't have a quiet place to study, and there's always activity and chaos around them, they're not going to do as well. They don't have space in their lives to do that. So then when they get in a home of their own, where things are a little bit more controlled, their environment is more controlled, you can see why they would do better. They would have the quiet place, and they're then proud to be at home, that there's something that they take pride in at home.
So Jason, no ice golf this weekend, right? For your ice golf tournament, it's going to be moved to shore.
Right. Mother Nature wasn't cooperative last week. Rain and 50-degree wind doesn't help.
No.
So we went out and surveyed the ice on Saturday, and when the snow melts, that's our traction surface, so it was too slick to be swinging golf clubs. Just for the safety of the participants, we decided to move to shore. So we have to change our events a little bit, but we'll for sure have the same amount of fun.
Yeah. And tell us about, you're setting up a field goal, I understand. We're just going to try and kick a Blair Walsh type field goal. That's a great idea.
Yeah. We like to have a gimmick theme every year, and this year will be the Blair Walsh 27-yard field goal. We're going to erect a makeshift field goal, and we'll have everybody kicking a football through those uprights.
So do I pay a buck for a ball kick, or
we will certainly try to? We'll certainly try to throw some of that in as well. But most of the time, it's a $25 per person golf fee, and then they'll have 9 holes that they'll compete in, and it'll be like golf, similar, because we change the rules of like camping games, like washers and bag toss and ladder golf, and we'll just make the scoring different so that it helps your golf score or hinders your golf score. So if you, for example, the 3-hole approach for washers, they'll have different score ratings. So if your washer goes into the front hole, it'll be a plus or a minus, and same with the rest of the holes too.
I mentioned to Jason before we hit the airwaves that maybe we ought to invite Blair Walsh down.
Right. We'll send him an email.
Well, I mean, he might be game for benefiting Habitat.
Yeah.
At his expense somewhat.
Yeah, I'm sure he's listening right now, so we'll say the invite is open right now.
He certainly
Exactly.
could be.
Yeah.
Well, we'd love to see him down here, wouldn't we?
Right, that would be fun.
This is out on at Wingems on Roberts Lake.
Correct, right. Wingems has hosted it every year that we've had it. So it's a nice benefit to have them for a warming house, food, the parking lot, and a place for everybody to gather afterwards. And before, we used to have registration inside. Now that we've grown, we tend to have that outside as much as we can because it's just too crowded in there.
Yeah, that'll be a fun time.
Right.
Even though you're not on the ice, it'll be fun.
It'll be great.
You still have the 9 holes?
Correct. Yeah, we'll have 9 events, different events, and it'll be quite fun.
I love that he's got the creative mind for it. I was telling him I don't really have the creativity for that sort of event, so it's super fun, and it's different every year, so the participants get a different feel and a different game every year, it sounds like.
Right, right. We've had hit with tennis rackets, hit with softball bats. We've had the dog throwing tool. I'm not sure the technical term of it.
Sure.
But yeah, there's always things out there that horseshoes on the lake. There's always a new event that we haven't done the year before.
How many years you been doing this?
This will be the 8th year. Yeah, this will be the 8th year. We've ice golfed much longer than that, but this is the first 8 years we've done it for charity.
You remember your first one? I mean,
yes, we do. Yes, we do. Unfortunately, it's a bad memory, but it was a friend of mine who had a child that passed away, and so midterm, and so it was for Iris.
Yeah.
So we did it. That's when we started. We said, hey, we need to do something rather than just go up north as a bunch of group of guys and party and golf. We need to use that money more wisely. So we started doing it down here.
What a great idea. What a great gesture for a friend.
It's a great gesture, and I'm always so thankful to encounter people in our community that do that use their skills and their passion to give back to the community, and they just have a wonderful time doing it. I think that just adds to the vibrancy of the community that we live in.
So are you going to be out golfing?
Yeah, I'll be out there. Yeah, we'll see how well I do.
Do you have pre-registrations or people
Pre-registration, yes. We've got a Facebook page, Ice Golf Charity, and there's a registration link on that page. So it's going well.
Typically, what's the turnout?
We typically fill up. We have 2 rounds. We start at 11 and 1, and so we can have 4 per hole. We do a shotgun start. So we do 4 teams, or 4-person teams per hole. And so there's, what would that be, 36, 72? Yep. 72 golfers. So I know we're over about 50-some now, but a lot of procrastinators.
Yeah. So you're limited.
Correct. There will be a limit. We can, judging the day of, now it's going to be a shorter event. We would have the ability to have some registration out on the ice if people did want to come out later and sign up, because it's just one of those things that with it being on shore, it will be shorter and we should traverse through it quicker.
So and there's other things on that day. There's going to be a little bit of a silent auction with some items. There's going to be kind of a warming, well, we may not need a warming house depending on the weather, but there's going to be some mittens and hats for sale, all that benefit Habitat. And then the Starter Boys are doing music inside Wingems on that day too. So I know people will come out to take a listen to them.
Of course they will.
Well, right.
It'll be a great time. So if you're not a golfer, you also need volunteers, right?
We do, yeah. And so people can connect either on that Facebook page, or they can go to Habitat's website, habitatricecounty.org, and sign up there. It's going to direct you to the same place. But yep, we can use volunteers to help set up the course and then to be there throughout the day, and also just people to observe and to maybe do a laugh or two at the people trying to kick that 27-foot field goal.
Right, you need a crowd.
It's 27 feet.
27 yards.
Yards, yeah. Good thing I'm not in charge of that.
No, that's okay. You have me going there for a second. Well, maybe.
Then you could do it, huh?
27 yards. Well, if you had to do it on the ice, it might be more difficult.
Very much so.
Right. You have a plant foot.
Right.
We'd have the Charlie Brown kick.
Yeah.
Right.
I think that's hilarious. Did you come up with that idea right after he missed it?
No, we just came up with that idea about a week and a half ago. So.
Cool. Don't you think that's cool?
I think it's great.
Any age can do this?
Correct. You bet. Yes, it's not closed to any group. So
you have a lot of kids that come out?
We haven't of late. No, we have not. We have teenage kids, like our children and our friends' children that have done it for years, but typically not a lot of younger kids.
But this isn't like real golf.
Right. No, it's a gimmick. It's yeah, it's
I mean,
tennis
this
balls. We're hitting tennis ball. Usually, we're hitting tennis balls with one club. You can only bring one. You don't have a bag of clubs. It's just one club. So it's always been about the fun and the, not so much about the sport.
Right. I just wanted to emphasize that for those people who say, well, I don't golf. I mean, you don't have to be a golfer to be involved in this. It's just for fun.
Exactly.
And it's a fundraiser, and you put the fun in fundraiser, and hopefully it's, you know, a great fundraiser.
Yeah, yep, we hope so.
Right. Yeah, there's quite a few silent auction items. They're starting to grow.
Great.
We've been asking around, and so the silent auction portion of it has grown. One of the top items for me is there's a 9/11 flag. There's a flag that has flown over 9/11 that will be auctioned off. For those of you that ice fish, there's an ion power auger. So those are a big ticket item nowadays. That the auger that doesn't run on gas, it's got a rechargeable battery. So much desired tools. And then Jeff and Greg are also building what I'll call a barn-sided beer station. So they take barn wood and they build around a cooler. And so and it's also stocked with craft brews. The cooler will be full of craft brews, specialty brews. So there's a lot of nice things on the silent auction.
That'll be in the...
That'll be on the shore, most likely right in front of Windjam's on the parking lot there. So there'll be 2 trailers that Metcon donates to us every year that we have the auction in.
Now, I know with Google and everything, people have that ability if they have it, but not everybody, believe it or not, listening, has a computer or does Google. Can you give us directions to Windjam's?
Yeah, you go out past LeCans Marine, and you go out to the smiley face, take a left, and then you'll go about 1.5 miles, 2 miles, and take a right at the Windjam sign, and then it'll be on your right, and about 1 mile from there, you'll see a Windjam's. They got a neon sign out front lawn.
Now, you mentioned Saturday they went out on the ice. Did you measure it?
No, I didn't. I did not cut through. I have a lot of ice fishing friends, and there's about 13, 14 inches. So it's plenty of ice, safety-wise, but it's just too slippery.
Yeah.
To do that.
Yeah. You don't have to cash in your insurance.
Right. Right.
No, that makes perfect sense. So again, tee times will be at 11 in the morning, 1 in the afternoon, right?
Correct.
Check-in is at 10 in the morning. So, yeah, it's $25 per person.
Per person, yes.
And all the proceeds benefit Habitat.
Habitat, correct.
How cool is that?
It's great. We love it.
And this will help you. In what way would you use this money?
Yeah, this money will go towards our builds for 2016. Nowadays, our cash cost per house is creeping up to about $100,000 for us to build a house, cash, plus whatever we have to pay for land. And then we have in-kind donors, lots of local in-kind donors that give supplies and materials. And so all of that added together is about $157,000 these days. So any cash that we get is going to go for that cash portion of building each of those homes.
Wow, $100,000.
Yes, to build a simple, decent, affordable, energy-efficient home for families.
These are just basic ramblers.
Basic ramblers. Yep, most of them have basements. We build with insulated concrete forms from the basement to the rooftop, and so they're energy-efficient homes. The last time we looked at averages about $55 a month to heat the house. So that's an average over 12 months. So of course it's higher in the winter time. But that's part of what we believe about successful home ownership, is that you can afford the monthly payment, but then you can also afford to live there for the long term.
It says here on the Rice County Habitat for Humanity website, Jason, that there's going to be a special help make the change box that people can throw coinage in.
Correct.
Another great idea. So everybody has coins in their pocket normally, don't they?
Yeah, everybody's got change, yep.
Going to have food specials. There'll be ice fishing available.
Available, yes, there will.
And of course, we already touched on the silent auction, the live music. So it sounds like it'll be a great event. $25 per person. Again on Saturday, out at Windjam's. You have a weather date in case we do get some nasty weather? Or has that been thought about?
No, we run rain or shine now. Once we hit this week, yeah, as long as there wasn't anything with safety, and since we're on shore, we'll be fine. It won't hold up.
Okay.
Sounds like it's going to be a little chillier than they thought. We had 38 for a couple of days, and now it looks like 18. So
No kidding.
it's been
That's
dropping.
quite a difference.
They've been dropping that forecast.
And you'll be warm when you're moving, right?
Oh yes, it's very much, especially if it's sunny out. This time of year, the sun's warmer, got the better angle.
Yeah,
so.
and people know how to dress.
Yeah, we're Minnesotans. 18 sounds just great, doesn't
Right,
it?
exactly.
Yeah.
Actually, it does.
Yeah.
We've been 0 and 20 mile an hour winds, so we'll take 18.
And you
Yeah.
still had a good crowd.
Yes, we had fun.
Oh, fantastic. Do a lot of your friends come out, or how does this?
Yes, it's growing. I mean, it started out as friends, and then it went to families of friends, and then now some of the families that we've sponsored or
Sure.
gave money to, they'll come back. So it's quite unique. It's awesome to see the families come back and tell success stories about what they've done or how they've progressed.
You've done a open house for your Dundas build.
Yep.
That was recent.
Yep, we did that the beginning of February. Yep, and so that family is happily in their home, and so we look forward to hopefully in a couple of months doing some more groundbreakings. 2016, we hope to build one house in Faribault and one in the Northfield area. We also own a property in Faribault that's a major rehab for us. It's on Short Street here in Faribault, so we're going to look to be doing a major rehab on that one.
You know, Jason touched on the fact that Habitat benefits kids by giving them a roof over their heads, stability in their life. Also, I was reading last week where there's a need now for senior homes.
Yeah, that's
senior
it.
home ownership.
There-
Is that something Habitat's been thinking about?
Well, we have done a home, if we remember Clara and Ron Vogel, we built with them a couple of years ago. Unfortunately, Ron died in this tragic accident. But that was one family where they were in that, categorized in that senior
Sure.
living, and the place that they were living in was just inadequate. And so there we did find a very compelling reason to choose that couple to build with. There's 3 things we choose our families on: need for housing, ability to pay a mortgage, and willingness to partner. And typically what we find is that families, because they're bigger, their need for housing is higher than a senior couple, because the senior couple may have a place that is decent for them to live in. It might not be the most ideal, but so we have to, because we can't build for everybody that comes to us, we have to go to those 3 things: need for housing, ability to pay, and willingness to partner. But I know that each community, Northfield and Faribault, is looking at senior housing, because that did rise up in a housing study that was done a couple of years ago. And so I'm a part of a group in Northfield where we're talking about maybe tiny houses or small houses to meet the needs of seniors, and maybe other people with special needs, but just a kind of out-of-the-box thinking of how can we meet the needs of other groups in our community.
Yeah, actually, I think I saw something where those are becoming popular, the small,
Right.
really, really small homes.
Yeah, tiny houses, I think the official definition is 400 square feet or less. A Habitat house is considered in the small home category because our finished square footage is about 1,100 square feet. But there's reasons to look at those smaller homes and tiny homes because it could fit individual need of folks in our community.
Yeah, it's kind of like an apartment, only it's a home.
Yeah, little studio apartment that has all the things that they might need, and they're more affordable.
For sure. I would encourage people to go on the Habitat website too and read this 2015 Wilder research, which they did in partnership with Habitat, conducted a study on the impact of Habitat home ownership. The results are an improved quality of life for participants, which I think is kind of a no-brainer. One would think that, but the program enhances the human, social, and economical capital of the communities, resulting in benefits for everyone. This, I thought, was interesting from the study. 2,200 Habitat homeowners in Minnesota. That's what there are, 2,200. And it amounts to a reduction of government assistance needed by $6.4 to $9.3 million a year.
Isn't that something?
That's
Yeah.
quite an impact.
Yeah, it's an impact. I mean, so I do believe that it helps families and it helps those children, but I think it also helps the community. And it gives people a better sense of pride in their community when they can be independently living and not having to rely on other programs from the county or state.
Yeah, so it benefits taxpayers
Yeah.
too, is what I'm kind of getting at there.
Right.
In the research.
Yeah, and then in addition, every homeowner pays their taxes, so that increases the tax base of our communities
Yeah,
too.
they still pay property taxes on the home. So I just thought I'd throw that out there, and if you want to look at the study, you can go on the website and research that. Any final thoughts, Jason, before I boogie out of here?
No, just I think that it's a fun day and everybody should come out and participate, whether it be in the golf or the silent auction. We'll have a 50-50 ticket split where you pull the tickets off and pay $5 a ticket or $20 for an arm's length, and then we give half of that money away and the rest of it goes to Habitat. So we'll have lots of fun events, and it's just a good all-around time.
Yep, check-in will be at 10 in the morning again on Saturday. Tea times are at 11 in the morning and 1 in the afternoon. And don't forget to bring your piggy banks, your change, and throw it in the help make the change box to throw your spare coins in. They have food specials, the ice fishing available, silent auction, live music. It'll just be a great time. $25 per person. Again, the benefits in honor of Bill Sarter go to Rice County Habitat for Humanity. I don't know if there's any bigger champion for Habitat than Bill.
There wasn't. Yep, it's many people are trying to fill the shoes, but it takes many to do what Bill did.
It certainly would. Man, that guy was unbelievable. His energy was just unbelievable. Always had a smile on his face. Oh boy. Well, I can close my eyes and see it.
I can see it too.
That's one of the beauties of memory.
Yep.
Thanks, Jason, for doing this. This
Thank
is
you.
awesome. And
Thanks to Jason and Maggie for doing this event.
KDHLAM, Faribault, Minnesota.